All right, all right. This is the Game Warrior. I'm Jason, and today we're looking continued at my list of anticipated games for 2024. So let's change tabs over here. So when I was a kid, you got to picture me asleep, maybe 6, 7 years old, something like that. My dad shakes me awake and he goes, "Get up, get dressed." I'm like, "What? Where are we going?" He ain't gonna tell me. I get in the car. He ain't telling me. Seems like forever. Boom, we show up. Bingo, Disneyland. Disneyland, what a surprise. And so I have so many memories of that experience. I don't have a lot of memories of my father when I was young because he worked so much, but this was me in Disneyland. And back then, you know, we probably paid $12 a ticket. It wasn't that crowded. It was fun. It was normal. It wasn't crazy like it is now. All right. So you're picturing the scene, and the thing that is just the most mind-blowing to me is they call it Adventureland Treehouse now, but it used to be the Swiss Family Robinson Island. And you go over to this island and there's trees. I remember taking my kids to it, and it was so much smaller when I did that than I had remembered. And the house in the tree, right? And the pathways along the walkways, and I tell you, as a kid, it lit me up. The exploration, the adventure, just what's around the next bend. I like my games that way too sometimes. So it was a no-brainer for me when I heard about this coming along, Robinson Crusoe, the Collector's Edition. Now, obviously, this game has been around for a long time. Its original version is way old. I see it all the time when I go down to Game Night Games, board game store. I see it up on the shelf calling to me, okay? Because it was March 23rd, 2021 when I kickstarted this thing. So for 3 years, and that's really when it was brought to my attention. I kind of heard about it before a little, but this was when it was brought to my attention. So I started to really look forward to going on this adventure, right? And I love these upgraded versions of games. You know how much I love Castles of Burgundy. So this just looks fun. This looks great. I was all in. And Portal Games pooped the bed. And the guy who made it, his name's Ignacy, I think. I don't know if I can pronouncing his name correctly. I think it's Ignacy. And I know that he's gotten much more involved over the last year, and I think he's horrified that this went wrong. And I don't know where it did go wrong, considering the game is done and all they needed to do was the miniatures. And if I'm correct, I do believe Awaken Realms was doing the miniatures for them, so that isn't the problem. I've kind of kept up on it a little, but I just ugged. So, like, if it shows up, it shows up. And guess what? Oh, it's going to show up this year. So we think. So I'm excited. I've heard the game is amazing. I've also heard the game is hard to learn. And if you take a break from it, it's really hard to relearn. I've also heard that it's really, really hard and that you just die a lot. So I hope it's not. And by the way, just in case you were wondering, I know Robinson Crusoe is not the same as the Swiss Family Robinson. It's a very different thing. But let's see. I paid $196.07. Let's go look at my pledge. Should I look at that, or should I not show that to you guys? Let's see. I probably shouldn't show that to you guys, right? Get my IDs for everything there. We're going to go back out. Got to keep some numbers private. You know what I mean? And then I paid $36.62. I paid for shipping August 31st, 2021. So very soon after. Anyways, where's the pledges? Is it the new everything pledge? What did I get? So, did I get a Sundrop pledge? I paid $196. So, depending on I did not get this all in stuff. Well, I don't know. When it shows up, maybe I'm a veteran of living on the island. Anyways, I have a friend, and we were chatting here. He was chatting to me, and he talked about this yesterday. on my channel, and I thought, oh, that's a great one for anticipated. I have one Kickstarter that I ordered before this, one that hasn't delivered yet, and it's also coming this year, so it's on my anticipated list, and I won't ruin it for you. I simply will not ruin it for you. You'll have to tune in later when I tell you about it. Anyways, just taking some time to say hi, tell you this old story. You know, here's another little storyteller. Come sit on my lap, or sit next to me. Don't sit on my lap. Storyteller Jason here time. When I was a kid, I lived outdoors. I lived for adventure. We just put packs on and we went. I remember when I was 12, my parents got me a 22, 12 years old. And I marched outside with my 22 at 6 in the morning with my friends, with backpacks full of food and water. And my mom's words to me, this is real true. This is parenting back in the 80s. My mom's words were, "Be back before dark." Which meant, okay, the sun goes down and you've got like 45 minutes till it's terribly dark. And off I went with a rifle. My friend had his rifle. What were our parents doing? What were our parents doing? But we survived. We came back and got yelled at because we always came back, like at 10 or 10:30, and I'd see a little color over on the western side. It's not dark yet, and you'd just be gone all day. And hey, no cell phones, no nothing. Like, imagine just sending your kid out the door with a 22 rifle at the age of 12 and going, "Okay, son." And my parents were responsible. They were responsible. They made me take hunter safety. So I took a hunter safety course, so I passed that. I also was a trap shooter. I shot trap on teams and so forth and so on. So I knew my way around guns back as a kid. And we just went out. Anybody else got any crazy stories like that? Anyways, the contrast is my kids played video games. And so I think they missed out. And now, to recapture my old glory, I'm not going to play a video game. I'm going to play a board game. I still do go on adventures all the time outdoors. But this game hopefully captures some of that. I have heard also that it's possible that they'll have some easier scenarios and a new learning package to make it easier to learn. I hope it's as adventuresome and clever and survival oriented as I've imagined it always in my mind. I hope it's fun. I hope it's not too hard. This looks like a delightful, fun game to me. It kind of ties to my past, ties to my childhood of going out and just roughing it, camping and just hiking and just going out there. And while I wasn't ever trapped on an island, I did get into some hairy spots, some real difficulties. I remember rock climbing and being stuck on a high rock, and I easily could have fallen and died, and just being up in the Uintas for a whole week and running out of food, and just lots of fun stuff. A lot of near-death experiences. So Robinson Crusoe is right up my alley. It is one of my most anticipated games for 2024. I didn't even bother putting it on any other year's list, so maybe I intuitively knew. But from what I hear, it is coming this year, and pretty soon, actually, I think.